two-time MVPs, Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. Their rivalry has been one-sided, though, with Mahomes winning 5 of their 6 meetings, including the playoffs, and Mahomes has outplayed Jackson in those games with more passing touchdowns and a QBR nearly 30 points higher than Lamar in those matchups. New on NFL Live, here's Patrick Mahomes speaking earlier today.
I know that you saw Monday night the Ravens, but they're a prideful group, man. I don't think they're going to be very happy with the film, and they're going to come out with the mentality of stopping the run. So it'll be a great test for us, and so it'll be able to go up there and be able to run the football and then be able to pass off of it. Will be important to us. Stay balanced and go up against a team that's going to be as hungry as we are. So it'll be a great football game this weekend.
Yeah, it's not the start KC was hoping for, but Hawk, is there something in this Chiefs offense giving you hope for a turnaround this season?
I like what I've seen from Tyquan Thornton in this offense.
Yeah.
And they're trying to figure things out, right? But he provides an element that this offense is so desperately needed for the last probably 3 years, which is a legitimate deep threat. There was probably 3 different times in that last game that should have been big-time plays. You've seen it spark throughout the season. But once they get on the same page, which they will, I love this version of it where they reverse the TD call, then the very next play they go back deep to him again. What that gives Patrick Mahomes is when Xavier Worthy comes back, he kind of probably assumes the Hollywood Brown role. Yep. And when Rashee Rice comes back, now you have your do-it-everything receiver. And now you have a receiving core that truly gives you weapons and options down the field, intermediate, and short, and they can still go score touchdowns in any way he decides. Again, the Chiefs have desperately needed that over the last couple of seasons.
I think they're a bad matchup for the Ravens defense, though. I do, because I think the Ravens defense is built to play coverage. They've got 5 first-round picks, even though Jair maybe not fully healthy yet or playing up to his standard, they still believe that their coverage unit can go with anyone. So I just think the weakness of this defense is what the Chiefs aren't good at right now and aren't willing to do it. It's just run the football. Now, if you just watch their runs and take Patrick's runs out, the runs that have been successful is at least when they're in the gun, one back power, meaning down block, down block, down block, and you pull that backside guard. I think one of the things is not having their tight ends be a huge part of the run blocking has to be a part of it. So maybe it's a 6th offensive lineman. And then really the under center thing that's been good is what we call split flow, trying to get everybody to flow one way and you cut the backside of the defensive line. Them to win this game, I really think they're going to have to commit to and do well running the football in between the tackles. Those 2 runs would be the way that I would do it. And again, I would implore them. I would entertain bringing a 6 offensive linemen in at times just to maybe help getting that run started. Because that's not Kelsey's game and that's not Noah Gray's game.
Yeah, maybe they can just watch the film from Monday night, because the Lions did exactly what they needed to do to really expose the vulnerability of this Ravens defense right now. With no Nnamdi Madubuike, they are incredibly thin up the middle. And I got to tell you, Monday night there was some concerning tape from a number of guys that you think of as game changers for the Baltimore defense. How about the Lions on Monday night? They had 207 rushing yards between the tackles in just that game alone. The Ravens have been bad between the numbers, both defending the run, but also in the middle of the field, defending the pass as well. Roquan Smith did not look like the player that we are accustomed to seeing him be on Monday night. If I am the Chiefs, and they don't have the personnel the Lions do, maybe along the offensive line in totality, maybe the running back room, but at least you got to give it a shot, because I just don't think the Chiefs' offensive formula of whatever that was on Sunday night, even in a victory,
I think it's a great opportunity for Kansas City. I really do. I think it's a great opportunity for them to say, we can do this.
I wonder if we can.
Because if we do, gosh, then okay, we can get into a better place offensively.
Well, you don't know how long Nnamdi Madubuike is going to be out, but not playing in this game, maybe the next time they see him down the road, they will have him. So maybe it is the chance to do it while this Ravens
defense team to do it against,
dealing with some injuries too. All right, we're just getting started.
I mean, he's Terry. He does what he does. He makes big plays, but, you know, we kind of was dealing with that throughout training camp, so we very much have the next man up mentality. We're confident other people make plays.
All right, so Hawk, and already hobbled Jaden, now potentially no Terry. How troubling might that be for the Commanders against Atlanta?
It's going to be very troubling, but specifically for Cliff Kingsbury, who was putting together a hell of a campaign for it to be the first call made to anybody who had the head coaching vacancy, because he was able to put up 41 points without Jaden Daniels. Now you take away Terry McLaurin. If he can still show that this offense is as good as it's been, everybody should be on his phone.
Oh, I love it. All right, the sound keeps rolling in on this Wednesday. Here's Jags quarterback Trevor Lawrence addressing the media this afternoon.
You're not always going to play your best as an offense, but it's how do you respond and find a way this week against another good opponent to go out there and play better offensively and just be more consistent, better on third down. Obviously the penalties, throwing, catching, passing game, we gotta clean up, we gotta be sharper, and then make the corrections in the running game and move on. But I think that's the key, is just getting better every week.
Dan, the Jags squeezed out a win this weekend against Houston, but the offense still looks shaky. What's going on in Jacksonville?
Well, they got to drop or catch the football. They lead the NFL in drops right now. Unacceptable with a unit like that. Trevor's talking about throwing catching. That's a big problem right now, and these aren't difficult catches that should be getting made. I think the second thing, and you heard Trevor talk about it, is cleaning it up. There's got to be more details in their pass game. I saw one thing, you saw another thing. I converted this route versus coverage. You didn't. I threw this route and you ran this route. So it's got to get better in the details. But their starting point, they got to catch the football better down in Jacksonville for their quarterback.
All right, Rookie Watch, well underway now, 3 weeks through in the season. Field, who caught your eye this weekend specifically?
Yeah, 3 guys that weren't playing like rookies, at least this past weekend, Laura. Let's start in Cleveland, who got a gigantic upset win over the Green Bay Packers. One of the reasons why is their second-round pick, one of them, Carson Schlesinger, was flying around. He had 10 total tackles. He had a sack. We actually gave him 9 tackles, 7 solos. This guy has incredible range. We really saw it on display. Look at the speed right there to close and totally annihilate Jordan Love, making plays at the goal line here as well. The Browns rookie class showing some very strong early returns. The Jets are getting some excellent production out of their top pick, Armand Membu, a guy who just completely rose during the pre-draft process. The guy was incredible during his final season in Missouri, and right now he's got a 95.8% pass block win rate, not just the best on the Jets, but the 8th best in all of the NFL. Certainly not a player. Looks like he is facing off against NFL competition every week. He looks like he's back in the SEC at Mizzou, where he was a dominant player as well. And I have bad news for the rest of the NFL. I fear that Lions GM Brad Holmes has done it once again. Tate Ratledge, second-round pick out of Georgia, definitely has the best mullet in the entire NFL. This guy was carving up Ravens defensive linemen on Monday night, just creating room for David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. We talked earlier in the show about that huge rushing performance. Ratledge was such a good athlete in college, so tough, so reliable. One of those players who probably got a bit overthought during the process, ready-made to be a starter. He has already become one, and a very important one for that Lions offense.
It was fun, Phil, being on the sideline watching him and watching him in the mullet, because they had that really long drive over 9 minutes, 98.5 yards. He came off the field and he was like shaking sweat out of his mullet. He was talking about how he needed oxygen, and he was like, that's one of the longest drives I've ever had in my life. But he loved it. He was embracing all of it. He's incredible.
He feels tailor-made for exactly what the Detroit Lions.
All right, so we had a little fun here. Who wore it best when it comes to mullets? I'm going to actually just vote Tate Ratledge right now, because we all look
I think that might have been me like 2 weeks ago, by the way. The superimpose, is this just the old haircut I had?
Which I'm not sure what that says about me. That says I already have a mullet.
Field by far looks the best.
Thank you.
You think Field looks the best?
By far.
No, I think I do.
You don't want to grow a mullet? Hawk, that's a
Blonde mullet.
blonde on you.
Yeah, why is it blonde?
Why I gotta go blonde?
You know what I gotta say? Hawk somehow still looks handsome.
I know.
I don't
Thank you, man.
It's really annoying.
I'll take the blonde mullet then.
I hate you guys.
Laura looks happiest to have a mullet, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thrilled. All right, still to come. A.J. Brown getting the full White Out Wednesday treatment. Hawk and Dan talk about it. That's next. The best.